Hey guys, welcome back. I'm going to do this pot dur. Sometimes I do, right? Sometimes I feel like a nut, sometimes I don't. I was like, let me do this little follow-up. I'll be shorter, obviously, just to corroborate some of what I said in my past vid, because sometimes when you say something a little different, a little new, people raise their eyebrows. They probably like, what? Like, light therapy? Because, everyone was trained to think the sun is their enemy and that we don't need it for certain nutrients. And even if it's artificial, it still helps, guys. Just think, if you're growing plants, doesn't the artificial light still have them grow? Right? So, again, we need to get over the stigma because it is a thing. And that's fine, because if your insurance fails you, then I would cancel it. I'm about to cancel mine because I don't see it paying for anything that I would like it to pay for, but yet they're digging into my trust. So I'm like, you know what? I could just pay things another way. And I've been so savvy learning all the, becoming more financially literate, that, you know what? Don't stress them if that's how it is. And there's no coincidence why they won't pay for, herbology or anything, because even Medicaid, you see how they push you in a certain direction, right? Because they're like, oh, you got to take all the drugs first, all this, and everything else fails, then we'll do the holistic way. That's the freaking problem. They want to give you the dangerous stuff first, and I'm not having it. I mean, I only just got this insurance card, and I'm already, like, disgusted. I'm going to call up the insurance and be like, listen, if I were to get, a diagnosis of eczema, whatever, would you even do? Because I'm not going through what I went through today again. I'm not going to go doctor shop. I'm not doing none of that shit. Because it's just better. It's a waste of my time, and I would just pay for the services myself. You know what I mean? I just thought, hey, why not? Because other people were doing it, and it made sense. But just giving you a little information on it, right? That it does, because this is a question that was posed, right? And he can help with the seasonal affective disorder, right? Not just psoriasis, but you see that it says here, ultraviolet light provides a range of benefits to the body, both physically and mentally. This type of light, often referred to simply as UV light, is emitted from the sun and assists in everything from the production and processing of vitamin D to healing skin conditions like psoriasis. Many people also find that insufficient exposure to UV light can lead to depression, sometimes resulting in seasonal affective disorder. As a result, especially people that were in the north, right, of UV light. The benefits, therapies have been developed to provide additional UV light to individuals in order to trigger certain positive responses. It's not hard to tell that when you get some UV light, you feel a boost of endorphins. That's why you'll see a lot of so-called white girls go tanning. We have albinism, ladies. It's like, yeah, we don't have enough melanin, so it actually feels good. And when and some of us can get pretty tan, but we're not doing it for the color per se, even though, yeah, it gives you more of like that rosy cheek glow. It balances out the skin. Only if you go, you know what I'm talking about. It does something to your skin. There is a therapeutic property. That's why even during all the propaganda, that didn't slow the tanning industry. You got tanning salons opening up everywhere. Well, one day I'm going to open up my own tanning salon, and I'm going to make it fabulous, because I already know what I wouldn't do, right? And like I said, we got to start doing our own stuff, and like having different forms of payment and being more savvy with our finances, and just realize, what's the point of even having some of these policies if it doesn't do crap? And people are like, oh, what would I do if I got into an accident? I'd say bill me, and then I would 1099A that bad boy, or endorse the coupon, because they're getting it from your trust anyway. Bill me. Give me a bill of exchange, and I will fill it out the way it needs to be filled out. If we know what we're looking at, it won't be so scary, right? So they say, of course, it can be harmful, blah blah. Yeah, if you're there for 8 hours, no one's doing that. Even when you go tanning, it's like 10 minutes in the bed. So does Medicare cover UV light therapy? Medicare insurance stipulates that all covered expenses must be deemed medically necessary. This usually means that any medical treatment that is used to enhance a person's appearance, such as in the example of UV light for tanning, will not be covered. The exception is if the treatment is prescribed for a medically necessary reason and a cosmetic benefit happens to be a side effect, like how they're pushing Botox, right? Even though that's a toxin, they'll probably pay for Botox now, right? If you say you have enough headaches, even though that's a damn toxin. They're crazy. As such, Medicare coverage will not pay for UV light therapy if the main purpose, obviously it's not the main purpose because it actually helps. And that's what I was articulating to the lady. And she even said, yeah, your skin looks, raw, looks this, like my arms and stuff. And then she's like, oh, it just looks like contact dermatitis. Like, she just, like, didn't even, like, but she didn't even, like, have me take off my jacket and look at my arms and, like, really look. Like, she wasn't even near me. She was literally, like, 3 feet away from me, talking to me the whole time. Like, barely even looking at anything, talking out of her ass. That's why. It's like, if they're going to be ineffective, why bother? So, with this stated, Medicare insurance may pay for UV light therapy in cases where an individual has been diagnosed with seasonal affective disorder. This is because the depression that comes along with seasonal affective disorder can be harmful to mental and physical health, and in severe cases it can lead to suicidal thoughts and actions. If UV light therapy is prescribed to treat seasonal affective disorder, it is likely that Medicare will require the patient to try other treatments first, including traditional prescription medications, you see, that treat depression. So what do they want you to use first, guys? That's why it's annoying. It's like, no, it should be the other way around, but you see how it's so biased? If Medicare does cover the cost of UV light therapy due to a medical necessity, the cost will typically fall under Medicare Part B. This is the part of Medicare benefits that covers durable medical equipment as well as outpatient procedures. Since UV light therapy is either carried out at home, using a light panel to treat mood disorders, or in a clinical setting, then the outpatient benefit would apply, as the panel would be considered durable medical equipment. See how they can consider it medical equipment, right? And it's not like I went in there and was like, oh, I want to be darker, I want to be this. Like, you would think that's how I came about it, right? You would think the way I got treated today was pathetic. So if UV light therapy were to be carried out in a hospital or skilled nursing facility, when Medicare coverage under Part A would apply. Medicare Part D covers prescription medications, so it would not apply in any UV light therapy situation. So Part B, guys, that's something I'll have to look into. So it is something, and seasonal effect. Of course, they're gonna say, "Oh, it's the summer now." It's whatever. They're always gonna look for something to not do what you ask them to do, even though they're getting paid. But they're so quick to write their scripts, and I was getting on my nerves. She was quick to write scripts, guys. So even on Wikipedia, if you go down and look up indoor tanning. Look, and I said, what was I saying about lupus and stuff? It doesn't have to be like so obvious all the time. You know what I mean? There's different ones. People get like different lesions and stuff sometimes. But it was even proven in 1890. The Danish physician Niels Ryberg Finsen developed a carbon arc lamp, Finsen's lamp, that produced ultraviolet radiation. Look at that. For use in skin therapy. So it was developed initially, and they try to say it's now cosmetic type of shit. That's why you got to hit them with, the next time you have to go in there with certain things, right? It's ridiculous. It's like, okay, go in there first, get your diagnosis, and then, after they let them give you a script, right? Throw it in the trash, tell them that it doesn't work, and then say, I hear this would be a little bit better for me, and this and that. Maybe that will be more effective if you went about it. But, I'm not kissing nobody's ass to do shit. I was as nice as I could have been earlier today to this cretin of a woman, if you could call her that. And, I'm not even going to I'm not putting myself through nothing. So I'm going to make sure, I have certain things. And if not, then I'm just going to go purchase it on my own. And, do it in the ways that I know how. Do my little financial methods. But if you go down, it'll tell you it's most prevalent, too, in the northern countries. No kidding. No kidding. Sweden, they're using it a lot. Denmark, Germany. So it's like, it's a big deal because they know they feel better. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, they know they feel better. Like, women, we're not stupid. Like, they try to make it like, oh, we don't know what's good for us, kind of thing. It's nuts. I wouldn't use any of the indoor tanning lotion. There's way better stuff. That is what is unhealthy, is the tanning lotions. You can do way better, ladies. I've already did a video how to make your own lotion. Grab a little shea butter, mix it with coconut oil, and add some strong instant coffee, like a little bit, enough to make it really brown. And you use that for a tanning lotion. See how great your skin's going to feel. That with the UV light, amazing, amazing. So they were saying some stuff here that the sun has antiseptic properties. That's why it's great to hang your clothes outside. So it's just kind of funny how it shows what's so bad about it, right? And, they try to act like, oh, it does all these things. And it says it triggers the synthesis. Oh, yeah, well, it does all these wrinkles. Well, where's all my wrinkles, guys? I should have been all shriveled up if everything they say is right, And it improves endorphins. You get vitamin D. There was a part here that said they did a study and the person's bones were thicker after. Like, proof positive that it can help prevent osteoporosis. Now that it's so darn big, I can't see anything. Why can't I see this thing the way I need to see it? Right here. Look, recommend tanning beds to treat. Look at this. Attitudes toward tanning vary across state. In one study, look at that. Doctors in the Northeast, well, not the one I went to, freaking twats. Northeast and Midwest of the country were more likely than those in the South or West to recommend tanning beds to treat vitamin D deficiency and depression. Come on, guys. Alright, this isn't as bad as you think, right? Of course, a higher proportion of whites. You don't see brown people needing it as much. That tells you that, white skin has, like a deficiency, right? So we need it, actually, And it says, tanners often cite feelings of well-being, it said. To exposure to tanning beds is reported to increase serum, beta, endorphin levels. Look, 44%. I mean, really. Beta endorphin is associated with feelings of relaxation and euphoria, including a runner's high. You see that? Is it a wonder why this picture has a heart on it? Isn't that funny? Horizontal. I don't like doing the lay down ones unless it's when I get my own. For my own, when I get my house, I'm gonna have a room for that. Because you grow plants, guys, and don't they grow the same? Oh, I know. I've seen it for myself. And I don't know if you ever watched Dr. Berg. He has a YouTube channel. He's into holistic stuff. He's really cool. And he goes into red therapy, which is so cool, guys. It helps increase your melatonin for all the ghouly ghouls who take melatonin, which is like a hormone from a living being. I wouldn't take melatonin, guys. I mean, I never took that shit. Let me see what time it is. Yeah, I don't want to make this long. I've never taken melatonin. Not my thing. When there, I guess we have more melatonin can be extracted from UV light than actually in the dark, to be honest with you. And Dr. Berg goes into that. Check out his YouTube channel. Very informative practitioner, you know, a physician of value. I always tell people, you know, there are good and bad in every profession. Just because I knock your profession don't mean I'm knocking you personally, okay? You could be the exception. But we know how the medical system rolls, you know? We do know. And you say too much and your channel gets shadow banned, right? On YouTube anyway. So, on Tannin Beds Direct, you know, they have different things, payment methods, but you know, you can inquire, you know, maybe they have different methods of payment, and you can always contact them and make a deal. Maybe they'll take a 1099A, but there are different methods too. I'm not going to say every little thing. Obviously, that's, you know, up to the person, whatever they're comfortable with. But the thing is that if the insurance is haggling people, you know, there's plenty of data to support it. And if anything, they could pay for something like this, which I'm sure is so great for the skin. $2,000, that's not bad. Of course, I like the $4,000 one, obviously. But you see how great that is, and like what it does. It rejuvenates your skin. Look at that, guys. You could just sit. Imagine in your house. That's the best. Having your little corner. You can get one of those, like I have in my room, like an Asian divider, right? Get like 2 of those bad boys and like block off this area. And you'd be right as rain, man. You'd be right as rain. And you do like 10 minutes a day. Shoot, if insurance don't want to pay for that, why do we even have insurance? I'm going to haggle mine so much. They're going to hate me. I'm going to be like, either you do this and that, or I'm just going to close down my account. Because I don't see it even being worth it, I'm going to tell them. I'm going to say, I gave it a try. You guys always want to push the hard stuff first. Always the drugs and the potion. We don't want to do that all the time, you know. We don't want to do that anymore, you know. Because you read stuff like this. I'll put this article for you. Because it even tells you, oh, first after doing... don't you love how they use the word traditional? This is the upside down. Right before the word prescription. Look up what traditional medicine used to be. Do I have to tell you it was plants, herbs, and nutrition, high quality foods and substances? They have the gall, guys, to put traditional in front of prescription medications, right? And it was like, oh, if they're willing to try other treatments first. I don't think so, especially if you have a long list of reactions, especially if it's inherently bad. Why would you put yourself through that? That's retarded. No one should have to put you through, you know what I mean? They're a trustee if they have your social. If they're not going to do what they are supposed to do, then you fire them and you get a new trustee, or you appoint, you know what I mean? You just put on another hat, you know, and you can pay for things outright too. I mean, you have more value than you know. And that's what this system wants you to think, that you have no power, you have no value, their way is the right way. If you say something different, you say something new, you're a weirdo, you're wrong. They just automatically, with their biases, right? And I'm just doing this for other people too, because, you know, I go down my roads and I'm gonna, you know, I do a lot in private. I just give out, I'm like, oh, if I think of anything that could help people, I'm like, I wonder if people even heard of this, that this is a thing. And that I wasn't trying to do it for like, oh, cosmetic reasons. Like, yeah, if you look a little better while you do it, 2 birds with 1 stone. Isn't the Most High's natural remedies always better? Even if you get it in a lamp, it's still trying to copy his UV light, which is inherently a good thing, because if we didn't have it, all the plants would die. Vegetation wouldn't even be possible. And they actually found that the increases in the cancer rates, I mean, you can do the studies are already out, that the people who were getting the highest melanomas were the people who weren't exposed to the sun like they used to. Remember, people used to work outside in the fields in various different sectors. Now everybody's indoors all day. Sometimes they wake up, the sun's down, and they go home, the sun's down. When do they see the sun? Never, right? So it's like, especially if you have a day like that, and even if you could go to the beach, even if it is summer, you might not be able to get to the beach. You might just have the 10 to 15 minutes a day to sit in a booth for a minute, have your skin, you know, calm the hell down, and then you can go on the rest of your day. You know what I mean? So I just want people to get more creative, and like, you know, these providers need to give us more options, because if it's all just poison chemicals, then I'm just going to cancel them. I'm going to call them up and say, listen, if you can't do anything less invasive, then I'm done with you guys. I've had insurance before. All the problems I have now is because of all the standard protocols I had before, right? So you're not going to compound that with more standard bullshit. Okay, I've had enough of that. It's time for us to think outside of the box. You know, this is the so-called 21st century. Come on, come on. Stuff, this should be the wave of the future. Somebody's depressed, someone's not feeling good, someone has seasonal disorder, they got skin issues. Yeah, come in my special relaxing room. You would have like beautiful dim lighting for you, no LEDs, you know, blinding your eye. Will be very nice, with some calming music, maybe some violin music, or, you know, or sounds of nature while you're there, laying there. I mean, man, I hope people who even have tanning businesses consider maybe adding a red light tanning bed as well. There's a lot, you know, unfortunately, the insurances are really who we need to get to. It's the if you work for an insurance company, and you know somebody who's having issues and you think this could help, you know, see what you can do to help the person out. They did say in Medicare Part B, I'm not sure what that correlates to in other insurance plans, but come on guys, we got to get more creative. I mean, they pay for the darndest things, right? And so it's time that they pay for things that will actually benefit the beneficiary of that insurance policy, which is you, which is me, right? So I'm going to do my own research, and definitely not letting these jackals get away with nothing. But I just wanted to put this up to show you it wasn't for cosmetic reasons. If you think, oh, she just, you know, she's making a big to-do. No, there's a lot of data that goes behind this stuff. Just because you haven't heard it before doesn't mean it isn't correct. You know what I'm trying to say? It truly is. But thank you so much, guys. I appreciate your time. I'll let you be. I got things to do, and I'll talk to you soon.